life. People be like, man.
Hey, all right. How's it going, everyone? How you guys doing tonight, today, wherever you're from in this beautiful world? Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate you. Another Beer and Cheese Tuesday. We picked, and it was as soon as it comes around, it's right up here. I see it up here. We had CZECH Lager, Sweet Stout, or any specialty style beer with cheese curds, HAVARTI, or any hard-aged cheese. So I want to welcome and cheers to you guys, Miscellaneous Brew Reviews.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. LP Reviews.
Cheers.
Bumpy Brews.
Cheerios.
Man. Cheers. And cheers to the chat. Cheryl showed up and said, hello. Hi, Beer Man. Cheers. And the gang. Cheers. Hell yeah. Thanks for being here, Cheryl. And thanks for anyone that pops in. So let's go ahead and start this off. Bring up Miscellaneous.
All right, so I went with the aged harder cheese, I guess. Yeah, never mind, that cheese was more expensive than the first one I had in my hand. Like $3. Anyways, I guess this is a Boar's Head product. It's a Canadian cheddar aged over 1,000 days is what it says.
Nice.
8 ounces costs $8.39. It's a spendy piece of cheese. I guess I did get a good sized block. Get the cheese.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty layout.
Yeah.
Looks good.
So that's the cheese. And yeah, this one's kind of a special send off for this one because I've had it. It's in about 2 months. This would be 2 years old, but this is the last one of these I got. It's the KBS Maple Mackinac Fudge. 11%. Bottled 9/25, 2020. Vintage 2020. Yeah. So, yeah, this would go, I guess, into the specialty style because this isn't a sweet stout. It maybe, but it's not like the milk stout. That's what I think of when I think of sweet stout. All right. Proper glassware. CBS glass, too. Oh, yeah. Slam the rest of that in there. Nice, frothy 1.5 fingers. I wouldn't call that 2. Yeah. It's cocoa colored. Looks very good. It's holding up pretty good for 11. What did I say? It's 12%. That's 11. Yeah. Pretty beer. Very, very dark. I'm not getting any hues through it at all. Cheers, guys.
Looks nice. All right, man. Cheers, Miscellaneous. Thanks, bud.
Cheers.
Tanner. Here we go.
All right. So the cheese I have, I guess, kind of fits into 2 categories. This is some Stella aged HAVARTI cheese. It says aged 12 months for a bold, creamy caramel flavor and crunchy, crystalline texture. So it looks like got some this cut up. So it looks pretty good. It was $9 for a 7-ounce block. So, and then the beer I'm going to pair with it. This is a collaboration with Proclamation and Redemption Rock Brewing Co. This is their Make This Romance Last. It's a wit beer with grapefruit peel and grains of paradise. I just looked up grains of paradise on Google. It says Aframomum malangueta is a species in the ginger family, Zingiberaceae. I don't know how to pronounce that. And closely related to cardamom, its seeds are used as a spice. It imparts a pungent black pepper-like flavor with hints of citrus. And then this is canned 7/8/2022. There's love songs. So yeah, let's pull this up. Got my wheat beer glass. Pour. Oh, I didn't think I said the ABV. 5.2% alcohol by volume. It says unfiltered may contain sediment. Proclamation Ale Company. They're out of Warwick, Rhode Island. Want to check them out? You can go to proclamationale.com. Got a little bit of a haze to it. It's like a golden. More actually, yeah. Hold it up to light. It's kind of like a golden color. Like this, it's a little bit more straw. One finger. White head. Looks like it's kind of dissipating pretty quick. Very effervescent. Lots of bubbles in there. And yeah, looks good. Cheers, guys.
That looks great.
Cheers,
Cheers.
man.
Cheers, Tanner. Thanks, man.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Go, Bumpy.
All right. Well, the cheese that I'm bringing is also Havarti cheese. This one's a Yancey's Fancies. It's a Grand Reserve Bergen Nost Havarti, aged 3 months. It's a delightful triple creme cheese, rich sweet cream flavor. They had it coated in a nice green wax around, and it's a wedge. And I just cut it up. Kind of looks like mango slices the way I cut it. But the beer that I'm going to bring to pair with this is from a Schilling Beer Company out of Littleton, New Hampshire. This one is a Fooder aged or Fooder lagered Modernism, which is a Czech style dark lager, 4.8% ABV.
Nice.
So let's go ahead and crack it open, and it's canned on 6/14, so let's say what, month and a half ish. So yeah, it pours with a pretty tight, kind of khaki colored head. The beer color itself is a nice, it's pretty much just brown. It might have some slight kind of reddish hues coming through, but pretty much it's a brown colored brew, and it's so dark you can't see through it, but it looks like it's probably clear. So, cheers.
So excellent. Sorry, I was muted.
Cheers, Bumpy.
Cheers, that looks great. All right, man. Thanks. Okay. All right. So, Sparkles, what's up, Michelle? How you doing? Cheers. I haven't seen you in a while. All right. Okay. So I got cheese curds, plain cheese curds. They're white in color and they just look like chunks of joy. Yeah. These guys are from Beecher's. Beecher's makes some handmade cheese. Authentic original cheese curds, plain. It says they're salty, clean, and milky fresh finish. Okay. Where are these guys from? New York, New York. All right. And I might have gone a little too hardcore as far as a percentage for this particular cheese, but that's okay. This is another one of Deschutes Abysses, and it's their coconut. It's got coconut in it as an adjunct. And it's barrel aged as well, so it's a wood aged specialty style porter is what it is. So it has a decadent amalgamation. Never heard of that word. Of roasted coconut flakes, licorice, cherry bark, and vanilla beans on top of a rich imperial. Oh, it's stout aged in whiskey barrel. I thought it was a porter in whiskey barrel. So, and it's Package 42122, 14.3% alcohol by volume. Let's go ahead and open it up.
I can't remember if I've had that beer. A variant of it.
Right. Oh my gosh, jet black. There's no head. No head hardly. Well, it kind of cascaded. It's so strong. Ugh. It's like alcohol boozy. Cocoa head though. Nice cocoa head, little rocky on the top. Nice tight head there though on the sides. Kind of silky looking. It does have some red garnet, ruby garnet kind of thing going through. I can kind of see it a little, yes, but it is very opaque. Nope, that's the light. So the light's reflecting off, but it's creating a ruby look. But other than that, an oil can Henry beer. So, goddamn, very bourbon, big bourbon bite to that. Cool, man. So let's go start these reviews, and let's start with miscellaneous.
All right, so yeah, still holding a little head there. There you go, Ozzy. You'll like this. It's my last Mackinac, very last one. So yeah, on the nose, it's getting a big chocolate note up front. The maple's coming through. You get vanilla coming through on the barrel. The only thing, like I said, I don't know. This is an artificially flavored product too, I think. But the coffee note doesn't smell too bad. It smells like just a good roasty malt build. Oaky, very, very slightly. You know what I mean? It's very mild. Smells pretty good. Let's try it out. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers,
bro.
There's the coffee. Oh yeah. It's got a full body to it. It's I wouldn't say super viscous.
Been a while since I've seen him.
Baker's chocolate. There's like a robust, like it's got a nice malty breadiness like underlie. And then you get coffee. Hard black coffee for me. And then it does mellow out on a sweetness though. You get that maple, getting the vanilla flavor. It's like it is. It's like a coffee chocolate fudgy type of deal when it all comes together. More on the finish. It's crazy I've had this beer multiple times over the pretty much 2 years since it's been out, and it's changed for the best. I don't know, but not bad, not too bad. A little bit decadent. I don't think it's too boozy either at 11. People have been kind of stepping their game up in that department. There's been a lot of big stouts out lately, but yeah, so that's pretty good. 1,000 days, or aged over 1,000 days, Canadian cheddar. This is good. I had one bite earlier. I had to go get some water, cleanse my palate. Yeah, you get a nice. It smells salty, nutty, tangy. It smells pretty robust for a white-looking cheddar, just a plain Jane-looking white cheddar. But it's like I said, it says over 1,000 days, so that's what over 3 years, no, 365 times whatever, yeah. So like around that range. So yeah, it smells good. Let's get into it.
Nice cheesers.
Cheesers.
Got the crunchy bits. About time. Man, super rich. I could have probably cut thinner slices in this, and they're not really that thick either. Not that large. It's very rich. coats the palate, sticking to the roof of my mouth. But up front, it's a little bit salty. You get those flavor crystals, and then zingy, sharp, tangy cheddar, man. Really good, robust. You get a little bit of, there's like that sweetness sometimes you get with some of the aged cheese. I get it in cheddar sometimes. I wouldn't say funky, but almost leaning that way. Not in a bad way either. Kind of an earthy dry on the tail end. It's really good. I like this cheese. Let's try them together. Beer and cheese.
Nice. Cheesers.
Beer.
Cheeser.
I think to say it's like sweet and savory, maybe. Coffee's going to be the big factor. The cheese kicked the coffee right in the fucking ass, dude. I didn't get coffee at all, really, on that at all. That was insane. Definitely more sweet. I'd definitely say semi-sweet, still leaning towards Baker's chocolate. Definitely, it took almost, I'd say at least like 95 or more percent of that coffee flavor out, which is crazy. It's surprising because it's very dominant flavor in the beer. And for it to make it just like almost completely dissipate is nuts. I do like the sweetness with the salty tanginess that helps wash the cheese down. Like I said, coats the mouth. But not bad. And the beer kind of washes away the crunchy bits, which is no good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It brings a bitter aspect out of the beer, kind of weird, like earthy. The earthiness, like I was getting at the end of the cheese, and with the beer, I don't know. It's different. I'm gonna munch some more, and yeah, I gotta work through that a little bit. There's a lot going on.
Cool.
Not bad.
Right. Awesome.
Cheese.
Thank you. Cheesers and cheers. And prost. And all that shit. Thanks, Miscellaneous. All right, Tanner. Yeah, your cat, couch cat.
Couch guy, yeah, he's an official planner member at this point. He's always there. Start with the beer. The Make This Romance Last. Really goofy name. But yeah, it smells really good. As far as a wit beer, it has a very strong aroma. Super citrusy. You get that grapefruit up front. There's a really nice yeasty breadiness. Some sweet malts as well. What I like about this is I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm noticing there's just like a little bit of like a spice, a little bit of like that kind of like pepper spice in the background. But for the most part, it's super citrusy up front. You get a little bit of the maltiness, and the breadiness is there as well. It smells really good. Pretty straightforward, but I will say, as far as wit beer, this is probably one of the definitely one of the better ones I've smelled. So let's dive into this. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Muted. Sorry. Cheers. Let's type in.
It's got a really nice crisp carbonation. Well, it has a really different aftertaste. You're left with like a really sweet, almost like honey-like aftertaste. With a little bit of spice there. It doesn't stick around for a while though. It lingers for a short time and then kind of drops off. But it's super crisp and clean. It's actually a lot more robust on the nose than it is as far as like prominent on the palate. But yeah, you definitely get that grapefruit, a little bit of possibly like orange. There's not as much like I said, like with the nose is super prominent, but there's not as much of that like yeasty, like wit beer style breadiness that you get. It's a little bit lacking in that department. There's a slight maltiness, but it kind of falls flat in my opinion. But as far as the citrusy notes, it works really well. It's definitely a nice crusher, summertime crusher. I wouldn't mind drinking a few of these, maybe like during a barbecue or something. Yeah, it's good. It's just kind of missing that wit beer, yeasty breadiness that I'm kind of used to. There's a little bit of that spice, but it's not really coming out as prominent as I would like it to. But it's still a good beer. Just it kind of threw me off. I thought it was going to be like super. It's definitely light bodied. I thought it was going to be like more towards the medium bodied side for a wit beer. Usually they're a lot lighter. This one on the aroma kind of smells like it's going to be a fuller bodied beer, but it's not bad. It's good. Like I said, it's definitely a crusher. The cheese, the aged HAVARTI, I've been snacking on this a little bit. The aroma, definitely a big nuttiness. Excuse me. Big nuttiness. It's got a nice tangy acidity to it as well. Slightly salty. Milky, creamy. Yeah, it smells really good. It definitely reminds me of a cheddar. Definitely, it almost smells identical to a cheddar, but it smells like super robust. It's really oily. I don't know if you guys can see this, but so oh god, there goes the knife. Stab myself.
Move your foot.
So you guys can see that. That's from the package. See all that? That's from the package. It's like very oily.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's dive into this before I stab myself. Cheers.
Cheers to cheesers.
Don't ever try to catch a knife.
No, I didn't try catching anything. It just. What did you guys
Go
do?
away and let it go.
I just. I had a knife sticking out of me on beer and cheese. Jesus. This cheese is really good. It's super nutty, slightly dry on the finish, but it's really creamy in between. Definitely not overly salty, but there is a little bit of salinity on the back end. I get that kind of like caramel sweetness that they're talking about. There are the flavor crystals. Definitely get those. You get the little crunchies. It's not as often as I would like. I think I've had around 4 to 5 pieces, and maybe I've had at least 3 that had the crunchies in it. But it's really good. I do like this cheese. It's not overly dry, the point that it's like making you want to drink the beer. This is definitely a really good cheese that you could possibly like impress some people if they have like a charcuterie board or something, and if everybody had to bring a cheese, I think that this cheese would definitely show up on top. I really do like it. But yeah, let's go for the cheese with the beer. Let's see if this pairs well. Cheesers, guys.
Nice cheesers.
Like I said, there was like a honey-like sweetness. I'll pick this up before I stab myself. There was like a honey-like sweetness in the beer, and it really makes it. It really enhances the sweetness flavor in the beer. That pepper note in the beer starts to come out a little bit more. Overall, I don't think it changes as far as like creating other additional flavors, but I think the cheese definitely enhances the flavor in the beer. The citrusy grapefruit stands out a little bit more. The only thing that I'm not really noticing is that like yeasty breadiness that you get with the whipped beers is still kind of not really showing up, but it's making the beer super sweet. And it definitely does a good job being a lighter style beer. It does a really good job washing down the cheese. Just for science, we'll do the beer for the cheese. See how this goes. I know I'm gonna have a good score for this. Still contemplating what I think about the beer. So, cheese is great.
Cheesers.
Oh wait, hold on. Other way around. The creaminess in the cheese stands out a little bit more, but I definitely think the cheese is such a strong, bold cheese that it kind of masks the flavors in the beer. But it's not to the point where the cheese is so dry that it leaves you with that astringent aftertaste. And I think it works both ways, but I would definitely prefer the cheese before the beer. Overall, I will just say that I think this cheese is friggin' phenomenal. I'm going to have a really good score for this. And something like this, I guess it works well with a strong cheese like this. But I think this cheese definitely would go best with possibly like a West Coast style IPA. We get that bitterness. I think that it would compete with this cheese a little bit better, and probably work a lot better in the pairing. But still not a bad pairing. And yeah, next time around I'll have some ratings. Cheers, guys.
Nice, man.
Cheers.
Thanks, man.
Right.
Cheers. All right, Bumpy. Here you go.
All right. So going with the cheese first. Aromas on this. It's got kind of a creamy, buttery type smell to it. Cheese.
Cheesers.
Very soft, creamy cheese. Breaks down pretty quick. Gets even creamier. It's buttery. It's milky, so like buttermilk. And there's plenty of salt. Not like so salty that the salt overpowers everything. You still get the creamy butteriness, but salt is definitely noticeable. Like potato chips with sea salt on them or something. You know? So you still get the potato chip, but you get the salt too. So cheese does the same thing. That's pretty much it for the cheese. It's buttermilk and salt, creamy. Beer. It's got the kind of dark bread, a little bit like almost like pumpernickel bread type thing going for it. A little spicy, earthy tone, maybe even wood-like hop aroma. Actually, it's Foeder lagered. It might be from the Foeder. That might be the wood. Touch of like a dark fruit. All right. Let's dive on in. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Bobby.
Yeah, this one drinks a lot like kind of what a dunkel would drink like. It's got the rich kind of darker bread notes to it. It does have a bit of like a spice, almost like there's a rye or something in there. More or less probably coming from the hops, though. A little bit of that kind of woodiness to it. And there's kind of an ash type flavor note to this one as well. It's got a slight bitterness. It kind of goes along with that ash flavor. Still like earthy tone and woody ash-like, and deep brown breads with maybe like a rye spice type thing going on. Seems to be about, say, like a light side medium body to it. Carbonation levels kind of low. It's not very spritzy, so lower side carbonation as well. Makes it kind of go down smoother. Bitterness starts to really kick up the more you drink on it. All right, let's eat some cheese and drink some beer. Cheesers.
All right, cheesers.
Cheesers, Bumpy.
Yeah, you still have like a little bit of a lingering salt on the palate from the cheese. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of bringing out more of the bitterness type thing throughout the beer versus allowing more of the other flavors to kind of show up and kind of be there before that bitterness shows up. The cheese is just kind of like, let's just bring it straight to a bitterness. So not the best there, I would say. This cheese does say that it pairs well with lagers and pilsners, but I'm pretty sure it's the piss yellow ones, not something dark like this. So let's drink and then eat and see what happens here. Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Cheesers again.
Cheesers again.
Yeah, it works a little bit better that way, eating the cheese afterwards, because you kind of get this like, it's almost like if you had pumpernickel bread and then you melted some buttery type of cheese like Havarti on it. So it kind of creates like a dark bread cheese sandwich a little bit.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah,
And it does kind of hide a little bit of that bitterness at the finish with having the cheese coating the mouth afterwards. So, all right, well, I'll have a score for my later on. Cheers.
cool. Cheers, Bumpy. Thank you, man.
Cheers,
All right. Ah, where did my hat go? All right, so let's get this beer first. I'm trying to itch my ear, of course. All right, let me spin it again. So for those of you that just popped in the chat or anything like that, it's a Deschutes with coconut, the Abyss Stout, 14.3, I think is what it was. All right. Oh, man, this has got all the components. I mean, they're talking like leather, molasses, freaking chocolate, a little espresso. You get the coconut. You get the bourbons. Like it was bigger when I poured it. The bourbon was really there, and then the spirits or something just kind of like lifted away all the smells. But the vanilla and the coconut are definitely still really giving it a nice thing. I really like the coconut and vanilla mixture. The little chocolate there, the roasted malt, little roasted like a brown bread crust. Sweet, it's got a sweetness. It also has a saltiness. All right, man, let's drink this.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'd drink that.
Cheers.
Mouth feels prickly, alcohol, like kind of. It gives you a nice little jump, but it's also smooth and viscous. And the body is very full and rich. Wow. I'm getting cherry raisins. I get vanilla. I get the coconut really the roasted, like a roasted coconut that kind of rubs around all that, and that goes in with the roasted malts as well. That brown bread crust kind of thing comes out. It's sweet and it's got a nice acrid kind of finish to it with all the roasty kind of acidity. It really kind of brings this dry kind of acrid feel, ashy kind of. It's nice though. I like how it dries off the sweetness. It allows it to be more drinkable because at first you get this nutty. That coconut's really big, like, but you get like a nutty thing too. There's like pecans or not pecans, more like Brazil nuts or something or some macadamia nuts. Maybe that's with the coconut. I don't know. Coconut's big though. Wow, very drinkable, hardcore dessert, freaking specialty stout right here. Holy moly. Let's get into some cheese curds. Hold on, I gotta wash my mouth. That really is throat coating. Mouth coating. These cheese curds are very stinky. Very, very pungent. Like almost like a spoiled milk, but not that far. You know what I mean? But it's got like a salty, whole milky kind of like fresh off the teat kind of smell on the fresh milkiness of them. It's salty, it's creamy smelling. It's just got that creamy vibe. Wow. All right, let's see this. So we got these just kind of, they just look like chunks and they break. I'm sure you guys have seen these. Cheers. Cheesers.
Cheers.
Cheeser.
I'd rather have these fried too, Miscellaneous. We were talking about that. No, these are salty and creamy, rich, creamy, salty. Wow. Like the texture of mozzarella, like that mozzarella kind of feel, but more of a cheddar kind of taste. Like it's got that kind of weird, even Havarti. It almost tastes kind of like Havarti in a way. Wow. This is really good. I could like keep eating these. So good.
Curds are good, dude.
All right, let's get into let's do cheese before beer, and we'll do beer before cheese. Oh my god, they're kind of chewy. Yeah, they get pasty on your mouth.
They're dense.
Mm-hmm. The beer totally wipes the cheese out. You have the cheese and the beer just totally out. Like it actually made it saltier. There's saltiness from the cheese, so that kind of contributed to whatever I'm getting on the beer. But the beer is like hardcore there. It's like it just rode over it like a bulldozer. Let me get some water.
Did it help on the finish? You still had that like acrid.
It creamed it up a bit, a little more thicker in the back. It wasn't so bad to take down. It wasn't bad before, just you know what I mean, to kind of blend it in with the roastiness, with the dry, acrid thing. Yep.
You got a big beer, that's for sure.
Yeah. I gotta sip this slowly. Coconut's really nice in this beer.
This might work.
Beer before, better. Because it complements it. Oh, I don't know. It's weird. Like it works with it. It's like you don't want to taste that booziness so much. The dessert, the sweet, all that. The salt kind of like takes all that out and still kind of lets you taste the beer, but it's like it's taking away the ickiness of. No, it's not like that. You know what I mean? Like the things. Okay, like when you take a shot of liquor, sometimes it makes you choke. You're like, ah! Like it's just the alcohol. Like it's because it's so big of alcohol content that it like you can really get that booziness. You take the cheese and it just that saltiness kind of like, and the softness of the cheese kind of, it just comforts it like lotion on your skin. You know, it's really nice. Yeah, I like the combination, but I'd rather have beer and then cheese. Yes, I would. All right. So God damn, man. I'm tasting. I get something different now. That's weird. The cheese. All right, I'm stopping.
Go for it.
No, the cheese. I'm getting this weird. The milkiness, the salt goes away in the finish of the cheese now, and I'm just getting this like sweet milk. There's no more beer. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, all right, let's get back to Tanner on our last thoughts, and or miscellaneous. Excuse me. Shit. Call me Alex.
Hi, Alex. But Alex.
Is that you?
It is.
I'm just kidding.
That's I love Alex. He's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we're going to start off here with the KBS Mackinac Fudge. Like I said, this is less than 2 months out of being 2 years old. This is the thing about this beer that totally gets me. Is like everybody says, oh, the coffee fades. The coffee fades. It don't with this. It's there. And it's become more dominant, I feel, over time. I think I've had 2 or 3 4-packs of this stuff. I bought. It was spendy, but it was really really good when it came out, and in its time was pretty good. We were waiting on their new project, and this was it. Like I said, I did get chocolate. You get there's a fudginess to it. It is a little bit more, I'd say, on the confectioner side, like what I said last night, more on like I'd say, like marzipan pastry type of side, that confectioner nuttiness to it, different. Like I said, you came through with the coffee real hard, black-ish coffee, more black coffee, kind of acidic, and just my opinion. I've had this beer a lot. I pick up more of a bitter finish the longer I've held on to it. I can say that. All in all, it being 2022, this beer is not bad, but it's not great. If you don't like coffee and you're like, I'm not a big fan of that real big in your face coffee, you're probably not going to like this. Just to be honest with you. Yes, does it taste good? In some aspects, yes, it excels. It is artificially flavored too, but I threw very high numbers at this 2 years ago when I had it. It's definitely come down a fair bit for me. So I'll break this beer at. I'm gonna give it a 91. Just on the cusp of that A range, it's good. It's one of their better ones that I had fresh in their recent drop. So whatever. The cheese. So this was awesome, man. Boar's Head, even though it's their brand, I'm sure it's not Boar's Head cheese. It's Canadian cheddar aged over 1,000 days. This was awesome. Like I said, flavor crystals. A little bit on the spendy side. You said like about $8.50 for an 8-ounce piece of cheese. But tangy, rich, robust flavor crystals, man. This is good. I would buy it again. I'd recommend it. You could probably do a couple different things with this. Good for a charcuterie board. I could see you like melting this on some burgers. Would be out of this world. I'm gonna give the cheese a hundo. 100 is good. Like I said, I have a lot of this stuff. This is like you can get this anywhere in the U.S. The Boar's Head stuff. This is good. I will honestly say that you could probably run this against somebody else's fancy artisan cheese. So the pairing. The cheese before the beer took out all that coffee note. I will say I feel like it added to the bitterness. There's like an earthiness at the end of the cheese, and then like a bitterness at the tail end of the beer. And they didn't really. That wasn't the high point on the finish, but the cheese and then the beer, or yeah. But you did. It took the coffee like almost completely out, which was good. You got to taste the flavors. If you're not into coffee type stout and stuff, this is perfect combination for you, hands down. And then I had the beer, and then followed it with the cheese, and it really took out all of the bitter, pretty much the bitter finish, and it amped the cheese up. It made it more sharp, zingy. Just I feel like I got more flavor notes out of it when I did it, vice versa. So pairing wise, I give it I honestly, let's go with a 99. I think it really did complement each other. It went well.
Nice. Good score. All right.
So
man.
I mean, it's honestly it is. Sometimes it's just pairing. You don't have to have a fancy beer or something super. I don't know. I don't consider this fancy anymore. But I mean, I don't know. This boar's head cheese too. This is not like super exotic artisan cheese. So good. It just plays out sometimes. Good stuff. Those Canadians need to keep making that cheddar. They know what they're doing.
Thanks, Miscellaneous. Cheers, man.
Cheers, bro.
All right, Tanner.
All right. So for the beer, I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna give it a 90. With that being said, I do like it. The grapefruit peel rather than like the orange peel you normally see in these. It definitely makes it a little bit more on like the tart aspect, and it ramps up the acidity. But yeah, I like it. It's a crusher. It's very drinkable. It could go well with some barbecue. Yeah, I think it's a good beer. Just comparing it to like possibly like a German wood beer, I definitely would prefer one of those over this. But yeah, still good. I think it was $3.50 for a single can. Not bad. Yeah, Proclamation does a lot of collaborations as well. So we'll say that is pretty cool. I see lots of. I think I picked up another one from them today. That's new to me. That's a collaboration as well. So they're constantly doing collaborations with people, which is really cool to see. The cheese, I had the number in my head before Miscellaneous said it as well, but I'm going to give this cheese 100. So I'm kind of comparing this to the Kerrygold Reserve, aged cheddar Reserve. I think I gave that like a 98 or 99. I like this, and I gave it that 100 because Bumpy said it, and I was thinking of that. I was eating it, but I completely forgot about it. This really does have that nice buttery aspect on the aftertaste. And the caramel, no, it's definitely a lot sweeter. Like I sent a picture to my girlfriend, and I was like, "Oh, this is really good cheese, and you should try it." She's like, "Oh, what does it taste like?" The best way I would describe this cheese, kind of being like a novice, I know you guys know a lot more about cheese than I do, starting to get into the cheese game. The best way I would describe this is, I think a sweeter. It's like cheddar, but it's sweeter and more buttery and less dry and astringent. That's kind of the best way I can describe it. But yeah, this cheese was really, really good. Like I said, I could see it working a lot better with like a West Coast or something with a little bit of a more of a bite to it, more of a bold flavor as far as like the beer. But the pairing still worked really well. Definitely enhanced the flavors in the beer. Definitely ramped up the beer a lot more. So I'll give the pairing like a 95. But I do think that this cheese, I'm sure that there's some beers out there that might not pair best with this. But I think that this cheese is very diverse and it could work really well with a lot of different styles. So, and I already almost I pretty much ate the whole thing.
Yeah, I gotta start, dude. I'm typing too much. Nice, dude. What?
So,
So
yeah.
what was your overall again, man?
95?
95. Good. Okay,
Did I say 94 or 95? I'll go with 95.
95.
Yeah, the
Cool,
cheese
man.
did a really good job, definitely enhancing the flavors of the beer. So,
Nice. Good deal, man. All right. I love it when they work, man.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, this one worked out very well.
All right. Thanks, Tanner. Cheers, man. All
Cheers.
right. Bumpy. Hi. I gotta do the same thing.
Oh, let's start off. We'll start off with the cheese. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, it's not my favorite Havarti. I believe I've had the one Tanner's had, and I do remember like kind of it was like the caramel type note, things like that. And plus it was a little bit. I think it was a little bit stiffer than what I had here today. It's all right. It's all right. Scored around a 90. Give it a 90.
Yes.
Or a 45 or 50. But yeah, things that maybe I'd put this cheese on. Probably some like I don't know, those Triscuits or something. Something that doesn't have a lot of salt because the cheese already packs the salt. But yeah, you probably melt it on a burger or something like that too. Sure. The beer. I wouldn't say this is like one of those styles that I'd like really, really get into. I'm more like the Czech Pilsner and stuff like that. This one's kind of like I said, it's kind of got some of the flavor notes like you might find in a Dunkel, but it is a bit subdued when it comes to those like Dunkel flavors. So I'm at a 42 out of 50 for this beer, which still puts it in the very good category. And on Untapped, out of like 173 check-in or whatever ratings, it's scored a 4.19 out of 5. So
That's nice. That's a good score.
Yeah.
For Untapped.
As far as the pairing, I think most people are going to eat cheese first before drinking something. So this one kind of worked better the opposite way of eating the cheese afterwards. But I think it didn't really work the best overall. I mean, nothing really was great about the first experience with eating the cheese and then drinking the beer. So
Nice.
Beer maybe just a bit too overpowering, and the cheese just kind of interfering with the better flavors of the beer. So that's all, folks.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers, man. Cheers, Bumpy. All right. Here we go. Damn, Tanner's a cheese eating boy. This beer's getting me warm, dude. Getting me all warm and friendly. I just want to cuddle it. All right, man. So just to kind of go back to the beer. Super complex, super strong, very bourbon forward, sweet, salty, molasses, cooked sugars. Again, I'm going off my notes. That's why we're doing this without a lot of ums. Got me. Leather, slight tobacco leaf, things I didn't mention. Baker's chocolate, maybe semi-sweet because there was some sweetness in there. A lot of sweetness. Cherry, though, was a big one. And cherry was actually, I want to say, licorice. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, so coconut flakes, licorice, and cherry bark. All right, but it did have a cherry flavor to it in the fruit. Raisin, vanilla, bourbon, whiskey, like I said, brown bread, crustiness, roasted malts, just so complex, so strong, so boozy, and the thick coating, the mouthfeel is just so thick and coating, mouth coating, full rich body, a dry acrid roasty finish. The cheese was salty, and let's stop here. I just keep going. It's like a poem. I wrote a bunch of shit and I'm just reading it. So the beer I'd give probably go with the beer. I'd go a 96 out of 100. I thought it was delicious. I could go more, but I'm just gonna stop there. It was so good. I think it was so good because it was drinkable. Some of these dessert ones are so sweet, and they taste so great at first, and then you just like, ugh, and you can't session it with anything. You're like trying to hang out, and all of a sudden you're fucked up. Like I'm getting now. But so that 96 out of 100, and then the cheese, salty, the creamy, milky, mouth coating, pasty, kind of just so yummy. I liked the feeling in the mouth. I liked eating it. It was fun because it's in little tiny, little chunks, and you can easily just pick it up without getting stuff all over your hands, and it was nice. So the cheese I'll give 100. I thought it was delicious. These guys made some good ones here. The beer before cheese for sure is what I chose. The cheese before beer, the cheese got smothered. It just got smothered and smooth, but it did smooth out the ashy, acrid, dry, roasty kind of finish. The beer before the cheese, though, it relaxed the alcohol in the beer and relaxed the overall complexity of the beer. You want to taste that beer so much, but then you start to get to where you're like nursing it, and you're like, okay, I need something else. So it's nice to have that cheese to kind of put in there and rub it up a bit. But together, I gave it a 90 out of 100 because I think a lighter beer would be a lot better with this, even like a saison or a pale ale or an IPA, even with this kind of cheese curds, man. I think it'd be really good. A Westie or even East Coast or something like that in New England. So, 90 out of 100, still an average, reasonable score. Scored an A minus. So, yeah, good stuff. Let's bring up the main screen here, and I don't have to do anything. Cool. So, guys, go ahead and shout your stuff out, and there we go. Heck yeah. Take this off. Promos, and whatever else you got.
No promos for me, but there's a lot of people to go check out, man. Go check out FLX Beer Reviews. Dana Mike, good guys. Go check out Ridgeopolis. Get a nose on them. Drinking some really good stuff too. Bunch of people out there. Commerce Ozzy in the chat. He's a good guy. I'm glad I could drink my last Founders Mackinac with him here. He's in the heartland up there in Michigan, so he knows what it is. Go check out Alex, Food Friday, fried chicken and beer. You could even put a waffle on there too if you want to. Never know. Wasn't too specific. Anyways, you can go check out Leprechaun TV on the hot seat. That'll be Thursday at 9. Barbecue interviews, restaurant stories, recipe swaps. He does all kinds of stuff. Other than that, go check out Thrash, man. He got 1,000 subs. Congrats to him. His channel's kicking.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, lots of good people out there. And go check out Sam on Instagram. Short and Stout Beer Reviews. A lot of content, a lot of beers. So, cheers, guys.
Cheers, Miscellaneous.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
All right.
Was that comment towards me?
Where?
Dude, you do know nobody's gonna take it from you.
Yeah, that was.
Cheese is really good. I'm almost done.
Why didn't you tell me how good the cheese was?
Shout outs for me. Wednesday, we'll be doing Will It Mix, open bar, live stream, mixing cocktails, Cuban beers, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday, do my rate that beer, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Bring any beer you want, be a revisit. Open panel, live beer community beer reviews. And then look out for just random drops or reviews on my channel as well. I don't just review beer, I do review other stuff. Which if you look back at it, doesn't really look like I do. But you can go back and watch some whiskey reviews, brandy, bunch of different stuff. Pretty much anything that's alcoholic. Had a wine review and stuff. Shout outs for other people. I did just notice Whiskey Encore is actually live right now. If you're interested in whiskey talk and panel members drinking whiskey, it's pretty much like an open bar over there. He's very respectful. As long as you're respectful, I'm sure he wouldn't mind having you up. And if not, go and have a dram with him. Go hang out with him. Whiskey Encore goes by Cheech, but the YouTube channel name is Whiskey Encore. He's a great dude. And also,
Nice.
shout out Josh. Last beer. Beer bowl discussion Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. He starts his show off with a beer review out of his beer bowl. Then he opens up the panel, talks about different beer news and beer topics. So, yeah, go check those guys out. Thanks for having me, man. It's always fun. And I'm glad that I was able to. I was very skeptical about this cheese because I was reading a little bit off the internet, and you never really know what you're gonna. Especially with cheese, it's a little bit harder to get straightforward opinions, like when Bumpy or Beer Man will tell you something straight up smells like socks or something like that. It's a little bit harder to find that information off the internet. So I was a little skeptical with this one, but I am really glad that I picked it up because it is probably my favorite cheese at this point. So
You want to know something? I was reading my book, kind of doing some studying, and how to taste beers and stuff. And they're like, to get your orthonasal, the retronasal, so as you're taking your beer in, you breathe through your nose.
While you're drinking it, you're saying?
And as you take it down, you blow out your nose. And it gives you this really nice, like, DNA of, like, flavors. Like, all these things start to pick into your brain. You're like, it works. It works.
Yeah, you try not to drown while doing it, though.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, don't drown.
Don't pour it in your nose. Just don't pour the beer. Try not to breathe in the beer.
Yeah, don't do that.
You just go to take a sip and you just suck it up.
He drowned. He was drinking beer and he drowned.
I recommend that.
All right, Bumpy.
Cheers.
Cheers, East Coast family. Cheese Tanner. Cheese Tanner.
Jeez.
God damn.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of shout outs that were already given out. Pretty much anybody that I would have shouted out. So, and yeah, congratulations to Thrash Life for getting 1K subs.
Yeah.
I just visited his channel the other day, and he wasn't even at 1,000 subs. He was still like 40 away. So must have had some 40 people all of a sudden like his channel overnight. So that's cool.
Yeah.
The 50-point inspection videos, I put them out on Wednesday and Friday. Wednesdays, Fridays. And got a show on Monday called New Brew. It's just a live show. Starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. Bring a beer that you've never had before. Just join up on panel. 3-part show. Review your new brew, general chit chat, and then question and answer time with the panel. So hope to see folks there this upcoming Monday. After that, we'll be taking a week's hiatus from from the YouTubes, from all shows and everything, because I will be down in Texas. So. Cheers.
Nice. Cheers. Cheers, Bumpy. All right.
Maybe I might do something then. Maybe Bumpy's gonna be out of town on Monday. Maybe I'll do like a miscellaneous Monday. Let's do like an open beer share.
That works. Hell yeah, dude.
Be down.
Let's do it. Yeah. Cool.
Everybody claimed it yesterday.
Yeah, you know? Come on. It's an open spot. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Bumpy. Thanks, guys. Okay. That stupid word, somebody just all right. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the so next okay, we'll start with this. I don't well no, we'll just do this. We'll do this. Yes. Let's do it. We're gonna do it soon. I promise. This is what I got for next week. Okay, so
Ooh.
I'll explain after this what I want to do, but Belgian for the next one, Belgian Tripel, a Dunkelbach, or any Irish style. Could be a stout, a red, whatever the hell you got going.
Dunkelbach.
Yeah, I haven't had one of those in quite some time, so it would be nice to try. Blue cheese, Parmesan, or string cheese. I didn't put in any on these because you can all find string cheese for fuck's sake. So, yeah, hi. How's it going?
This photo bomb.
So 8 o'clock Eastern for that. Tomorrow will be 6 o'clock. Will be Goonies themed beers. So bring whatever. It doesn't matter if the can's gold, for crying out loud. I don't care. Just I like gold. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then I have I am going to be going to Portland Thursday, so I'll probably be coming back with some grain. I want to start brewing some beer. So we'll see. I just didn't want to pay for the 50-pound bags on the mail because the shipping is expensive. But and then we got you guys will be getting something Friday. So we'll be doing the Pliny the Elder. You guys already know what's in there, but we'll be doing a panel on that. Pliny the Elder from Russian River Brewing Company. I think they're out of Northern Cal or something. Yeah. And 3 people. Now, I'll mention 3 people here. Beer a Day with TK. Check the guy out. The guy's cool as hell. Super nice. He just joined my Facebook as well. And then you got Don Drinks Beer. It's not Don's beer reviews anymore. Well, it kind of is. But, yeah. My I forgot what he said. I was going to say my beauties. What does he say again? Fuck, I forgot. But, okay. And then you got Dickie's Beer Reviews. Come on. The guy's cool as fuck. I like him a lot, man. He's a cool dude. Go check him out. Heck yeah. So, well, first I'm gonna say thank you to everyone in the chat for showing up. Commerce Ozzy, Cheryl was the first one today. Tommy Carroll, cheers to you, Sam Smalley. Sparkles Queen Michelle, and we got Carlos, Cabaco Carlos, FLX Beer Reviews, Psycho Duck, haven't seen you forever. Good to see you, my good Australian friend. We got Miscellaneous Magnets. Flacco's Beer Reviews. And that's like, we're getting to the end. John showed up. Yes, he did, John. So cheers to the chat. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support. We all appreciate it here on the panel. Please subscribe to these guys here too. Cheers to the panel, and thank you for being here. Miscellaneous Brew Reviews. East Coast LQ Reviews. And Bumpy Road Brews. Thank you, guys. All right, I do have a beer ready for our last sip. Let me just get the video, the outro ready. You guys have a good night, day, wherever you're from this beautiful world, but not after one more fucking sip. All right. Mm-hmm.